Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I want to welcome you to a short introductory video on designing for everyone, the importance of alt text. First, it's important to understand why we are talking about this. Why does alt text matter? Well, let's start with the ADA and UDL. Let's define these terms. ADA stands for the Americans with Disabilities Act, originally passed into law in 1990 and updated and amended in 2008. This law states that the U.S. has a national mandate to eliminate discrimination. But how do we do that? That would be a lot of ground to cover. So today we're just going to focus on alt text, which is a component of UDL, Universal Design for Learning. UDL is a way to make material accessible for all people. So we're not creating an accommodation for any one person. Instead, we are designing our material for accessibility for everyone. So now that we have a little background on the why, let's take a deeper dive into alt text, starting with the definition of what it is and who it's for. The Web Accessibility Initiative Guidelines gives the following examples on alt text, which is non-text content that needs a text equivalent. So for example, you need to have short equivalents for images, including icons, buttons, graphics, descriptions of data represented on charts, diagrams, and illustrations, brief descriptions of non-text content such as audio or video files, and labels for form controls, input, and other user interface components. By adding alt text to these items, you help people with low vision or no vision access your content with the help of screen readers. If you don't provide the text, the person will not be able to navigate through your non-textual elements. And as a bonus, alt text helps optimize your web pages for search engines. Sometimes it's easier to understand with examples. So let's look at a few now. When using alt text, you want to keep your titles and descriptions as concise as possible. On this slide, the image has a simple title of photo illustration, and the description is an open hand below a light bulb. This image is a bit more complex, so it requires a bit more text. Here, the title is an image of an alt text example, and the description is two illustrations of cats side by side, one with original generic file name, the other with the alt text cute cat. Now, you may be asking yourself, what about the images of the light bulbs on these slides? And that's a great question. Web accessibility guidelines state that alt text isn't necessary for purely decorative elements on the page, so we don't need to provide alt text for the slide backgrounds. So now that we've looked at a few examples, let's practice what we've learned. How would you write the title and description in the alt text fields for this image? You can pause the recording here to think about it. I'll give you a few seconds. This is a screenshot of the title and the alt text that I added to this pictures. Yours may be different. We might not have used the same terms, but that's okay. Just remember that saying flowers isn't descriptive enough. It's fine for a title, but you want to include the details in the description. Let's try one more. How would you write the title and description in the alt text fields for this image? Again, you can pause the recording here to think about it. I'll give you a few seconds. Again, I'm showing you a screenshot of the title and alt text that I added to this picture. And once again, yours may be different. We might not use the same terms, and again, that's okay. Interestingly, the site where I obtained this picture only had the alt text of sunset, which doesn't accurately convey the picture, does it? There was no mention of the elephant at all. Since this introduction is so brief, I wanted to leave you with some really great resources that you can use when you use UDL principles for alt text. Here I've provided 4 sites with overviews of alt text and how to use it, and 4 sites that will give you step-by-step instructions on how to use alt text on their platforms. If you're in doubt about whether you need to use alt text or not, start with the W3Org Alt Decision Tree. This is an incredibly useful tool for determining if you need it. I hope you found this presentation helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them, and you can email me at jpate1@una.edu. The credits for the slides and the light bulb with the hands photo are listed here. You can access the original slides, which have links to all of the resources that I used, at the bit.ly link shown at the bottom of this slide. Thank you.